Yo, what's good? What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. It's Neff. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and tricks on HAVOC for the dungeon The Other Side. Basically, I'm just going to go through each zone, each mob that you can do cool stuff on. Stuff that'll make the key go a lot smoother. It'll make your tank's life a lot easier. And hopefully, doing this stuff will lead to more completed keys and more timed keys rather than depleted keys, right? But before we hop into the video, I do want to shout out my Discord. We're almost at 700 members, and it's a growing community. We talk a lot about DH in there. I post some Discord exclusive stuff in there. So if you're interested in something like that, joining community, talking with other people, meeting new people, there's a link in the description. It's also where you get my UI. My UI is available for Twitch subs. So if you're interested in that, there's a link in the description to my Twitch. Once you sub to me on Twitch, you can use a Prime sub or a regular sub. You join my Discord. Make sure you have your Twitch account linked with your Discord account. And once you join the Discord, you'll get sub-specific roles and you'll be able to see hidden channels only available to subs. You can download my installer and get all that stuff. If you're watching this video and you watch my past videos and you're not subbed, I would really appreciate if you subbed. Only about 15% of people that watch these videos are actually subbed. So if you're watching this, you like the content, you like what you see, make sure to hit that sub button, that bell notification button to get notified whenever I post a new video so you don't miss anything. But anyway, sorry for the shout outs and promotions. We'll hop straight into the video now. So to start things off, we're going to take a look at these Barkbinders, and if we right click this, you can see they cast this bark armor. So on MDT it doesn't show exactly what it does, but I'll put a screenshot of what it does on the screen somewhere. So basically it absorbs all attacks and it consumes 1 charge on each incoming attack. So a cool thing is that you can use consume magic to dispel this buff from any mob that it's on, or if you're a blood elf, you can use arcane torrent to dispel it with that. So that'll really help for some reason you miss the kick or you don't have the kicks to kick the Barkbinder. For the bark armor, you could just purge it off any mob, and that will save time in the key, make life a lot easier. So the next mob we'll look at here is still in the Ardenweld zone. It's the Blade Beak Hatchling. As most people know, I'm sure a lot of you have already experienced this. The frightened cries going off and pulling every blade beak mob around in that area. So if you have experienced this, it's probably went south if that went off. What you can do, you can use Imprison to stop that cast from going off. If for some reason you don't have Chaos Nova or Fell Eruption up, you can just use Imprison on it. So using Imprison on this mob to stop the frightened cries cast is very useful. So the next mob we'll take a look at is the big red spirits that walk around the circle in the middle of DOS, and that is the Enraged Spirit. And if you don't have a Night Fae, or if you're doing this one over here on this side of the dungeon and you don't have like an urn to use on it to cancel the rage cast, you most likely want to drop darkness on it. It'll dodge a lot of the damage that you take from it, because there's not really any other place that you would use it other than like maybe a boss. The next thing we'll take a look at is the Headless Client, and I'm sure if you've done this dungeon, if you've been playing this expansion, you've probably died to this multiple times. I know I have. These things do a lot of damage on higher keys, especially in Fortified, and they're a pain in the ass to deal with. But what a lot of people don't know is that they get a buff called Additional Threads, and on here it doesn't show that they get increased haste. But if you look at the spinning up ability, this also applies additional threads, increasing haste and movement speed. This affects stacks. So when they're spinning up and when they're just alive, they gain stacks of additional threads, haste for each stack that they have of additional threads. And you can use Arcane Torrent to dispel this if you're a blood elf. You can also use Consume Magic to purge this off as well. It will keep gaining stacks after you purge it, but if you time it just right before the spinning up goes off, reduce the amount of damage that you take from the spinning up by a lot, because they'll have a lot less haste. Next thing we'll look at is the Death Speaker. There's one of these on the left and right side of the other side circle, and they cast an ability called Death's Embrace. You can see here on MDT, wraps a target in a shadowy embrace, increasing haste by 40% for 9 seconds. So this is also purgeable with Consume Magic and Arcane Torrent. So this increases the damage the tank takes by a lot, especially if it ends up getting on one of these skeletal raptors and they take a bunch of stacks of these decrepit bites. They take a ton of damage from that. But this is purgeable with Consume Magic or Arcane Torrent. So this Death's Embrace is interruptible, but if you miss a kick because you're kicking Shadow Core, purging this with Consume Magic or Arcane Torrent will make this pull will go a lot smoother. The next mob we'll take a look at is the Adelaide Devoted. I'm not sure how you say that, but these mobs in MDT you can't really see what they do, but they channel a spell called Devoted Sacrifice, and when that cast finishes, they turn into the Sons of Hakar, and when the Sons of Hakar spawn, it's a really bad time. They spam cast Blood Nova, I think it is, and does a ton of AoE damage, especially on higher keys and fortified. So you can either stun these both Chaos Nova, you can use Fell Eruption to single stun them, or you can also use Imprison if you don't have any type of stun. Imprison will also reset the channel, so you want to make sure that these casts do not go off. If we go down this hallway a little bit further, we have the Deathwalkers, and when these Deathwalkers die, they turn into Raging Spirits, which can be purged by Consume Magic. On higher keys, after you kill these Deathwalkers, you definitely want to use Consume Magic to purge a Raging Spirits buff that keeps them alive. Because on a higher key, when these things spawn and they actually reach whoever they're fixated on and they attack them, on a higher key, they will get one-shotted 100%. So these mobs also cast Blade Storm, which does a ton of damage. Ran this dungeon already on a decent key. You've probably died to Blade Storm a couple times like I have. And they are on the same spell queue. So as long as you don't single interrupt one or the other, they will cast Blade Storm together at the same time. So right here is a really good time to cast Chaos Nova to interrupt both of these Blade Storms. You can stay in melee and kill them faster. But you do want to keep in mind that you have 3 Devoteds up here that you might want to save Chaos Nova for. So you definitely want to communicate with your group and track what stuns, track what AoE stops you have. Use your Chaos Nova accordingly. So I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you found something useful, make sure to leave a like. If you want to see a specific dungeon, leave it in the comments and I'll try to get to it quicker. But for now, the plan is just to go in alphabetical order. But if you really want to see a specific dungeon, just let me know in the comments. And make sure to hit that sub button and hit the bell so you get notified whenever I upload a video. And until next time, hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.